Normalcy. That's a word that's been used a lot in the past couple of years. We yearn for it. Some of us push hard for it. And beginning today, we get a little piece of that normalcy back. Good evening. I'm Pat Callahan.
And I'm Amanda Hill. It comes in the form of hundreds of high school athletes, their friends, their families, their communities, gathering at 3 different venues today for the return of the state basketball tournament.
The first round of games tipped off a couple of hours ago at the Portland Expo and the Augusta Civic Center, as well as the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, where there is a game going on right now. News Center Maine's Carly Dion is at the Cross Center with more on what the athletes and the tourney goers can expect.
And Carly, after not having a tournament last year because of the pandemic, it's great to have it back, but I'm sure officials want to balance fun with safety.
Absolutely, Amanda, and I will get to those safety precautions in just a minute, but right now, as you can see, there's a game going on behind me in the Class B girls division, Herman against Maine Central Catholic. And right now the score is 21-13 with Herman taking the lead. And right now I'll toss things to Don Kerrigan, who has more about the return of this Maine tradition.
For the schools and the fans and the Augusta Civic Center, it's been a long wait.
So we're super excited. The Civic Center is not the same when it's empty.
For decades, Tournament Week has been the Civic Center's biggest event of the year. For a couple of generations, high school athletes have made it their annual goal to get to the ACC.
It's awesome, and these boys are ready.
Sandy Nelson is athletic director at Vinyl Haven High School. The Islands boys team will hit the floor at the Civic Center on Saturday against Greenville. Seniors Colby Beveridge and Lincoln Dennison and the rest of the team had no tournament and no games last season because of the pandemic.
For me last year, it felt like something definitely got taken away. I'm glad that this year we get a chance to play and we made it to the tournament.
Hearing that we get to participate in the ACC again is a huge relief.
For the small schools in particular, getting to play at the Civic Center is a big deal.
A lot of people get nervous going into the Civic Center, and
it's a completely different atmosphere once you walk into that building.
Yeah, how a lot of hoops hang off the walls and gyms we go to, there's like 100 feet behind the hoops.
Your depth perception just changes dramatically.
And coming in midwinter, the tournaments also help business, bringing crowds to town that bring customers to local retail stores in the tournament cities, and crowds to fill restaurants like the Augusta IHOP.
It's going to bring us a lot of business.
Manager Chelsea Bushway remembers coming to the games when she was a high schooler, and now is eager to see fans filling the place for the week ahead.
We do plan to be really busy, and hopefully we'll have enough staff to be able to handle it. So, yeah, so we're ready for it.
For the Civic Center, too, it's a business boost. Some of their usual staff didn't get many hours over the last year and a half. Tournament Week brings them all back.
We need it to be full. We want to hear the crowds. We want to hear the excitement, and we're ready for it. We've missed it.
Tournament Week is also a Maine seasonal milestone, a marker that there's just 1 month of winter left to go, and we're that much closer to spring. And this one may also mean that life in Maine is a step closer to being a little more like normal. In Augusta, Don Kerrigan, News Center, Maine.
And if you're planning on heading out to any of the games over the next week, here's what you need to know ahead of time. Here at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, masks are required. And if you forgot yours, masks will be available at the door. The same goes for the Augusta Civic Center. The only requirement there is masks. But at both the Portland Expo and the Cross Insurance Arena in Portland, it's masks and proof of COVID vaccination or a negative COVID-19 test to enter both buildings. Cross Insurance Center General Manager Tony Vale tells me it's a great feeling to have the tournament back after 2 years.
Hopefully folks understand that we're still working through some of the effects from the pandemic, and staffing is one of them. So if there are times where there may be a longer line at a stand, or maybe a stand is open in a different area, we hope folks will understand that, work with us. Again, be patient and cooperative, and know that we're doing our best with what we have to work with.
And tickets for the games can be purchased at the door or online, and prices range between $5 and $10 depending on age and venue. And there's still a lot more basketball to be played tonight. Up next, it's the boys Class B division, and it will be Foxcroft Academy taking on John Bapst, and followed by Orono taking on Winslow. Pat and Amanda.